Have you had anything exciting happen in your life, but it's been overshadowed by grief? Hello, everyone. This is Andrea with Revitalizing Your Health. And today I want to share about a question that my husband asked me. My husband and I were sitting there the other day and we were talking, and he asked me a question. And that question was, what good memories do you have of Bethany? Now, Bethany was our daughter. And I remember the day I found out I was pregnant. We were having some real financial difficulty, so I was sad about it. I was sad that I was pregnant because I seen that it was going to bring such a hardship. But it didn't take me long to be excited about my pregnancy because I loved my children and I loved babies. This would be our third child, and we already had two boys. And so what a delight it was for me when my baby was born and I found out that I had a girl. I was excited. I had always dreamed of having a daughter, and I was excited that I now had a daughter. And at that point, I didn't want to have any more children. But now back to the question that my husband asked me. What good memories do you have about Bethany? And I had to say to him, I don't remember the good memories because they have been overshadowed by the sorrow and the grief. I can look at the pictures that we have of her, the very few pictures that we have, and I can remember taking that picture, but we only had her for 5 weeks, so I can't remember too much about it because it's overshadowed by the terrible experience that we went through. I remember that day clearly when I went to pick her up and she wasn't breathing. I remember doing CPR until the ambulance came. I remember sitting in the waiting room at the first hospital in the emergency room, wondering, waiting, praying. And when the doctor finally came out to talk to us, she asked, "We can't seem to bring her around, and it seems like she doesn't want to come back. Is there something you need to tell us?" And I just felt this wrench in my heart. I was being blamed for killing my daughter, and it was so painful. I remember right after she was born, my husband got me this gift, and it was a drawing of a mother holding a baby, and underneath it said, "For this child I prayed." And it reminds you of the story of Hannah in the Bible and how she came before the Lord and agonized in prayer because she wanted so desperately to have a baby. And the Lord gave her a baby. And I had so longed for a daughter, and the Lord gave me a daughter. And here I was now in the hospital with this daughter that I had prayed for. For this child I had prayed. And I was being accused of killing her. It felt like a knife being wrenched in my heart. Thankfully, she was flown to another hospital, and there we had wonderful, understanding doctors and nurses, and I'm so grateful that that is the hospital we were at. We were at that hospital for 3 days, and I remember needing to go into a room where they had a pump so I could pump my breast milk in preparation for being able to nurse my baby again. I just felt like part of my body was missing. I had held her in my tummy for 9 months. I had held her in my arms for 5 weeks nursing her. And it felt like somebody had cut off a portion of my body. And it was so painful. I kind of related to a person who has actually lost a limb, an arm or a leg. And even though that piece of their body is gone, they still have this phantom pain. And that's what I felt. I felt this pain even though she was gone. We finally, after 3 days, had to make that decision to unplug her. No more to hold her in our arms. And it was so painful. I felt like I was losing a part of my body. At times during that time, I was blaming myself. I had let her cry herself to sleep, and I wondered if there was something wrong with my milk. Had I gone in there sooner, I could have got her before this happened. There was all this what ifs. I should have. And I am learning that I can't do that. It's easy to do that in life, to think if I could have just done things a little bit differently, things would have turned out better. I am so grateful for those that were so supportive of us. The nurses, the doctors, we had family and friends. I had a friend that called me every day for a while just to see how I was doing. And God, at times through my tears and my pain, would give me a feeling of peace, even though I was still hurting. And also, I have a hope. I have a hope that when Jesus comes, I will have my baby again. I will be able to raise her in a perfect environment. I will be able to hold her again. And God will wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there will be no more pain. There will be no more sorrow. There will be no more loss. And I am looking forward to that time. So when my husband asked that question, I realized that the memories are overshadowed by the sorrows. But also through them, I was shown the love of God and the peace He did give me through that time, and how He was actually carrying us through that time. And I'm so grateful for that. I want to share this quote with you by Elizabeth Elliot, because I think it's very powerful. Of one thing I am perfectly sure, God's story never ends with ashes. And for those of you who may not know her story, her and her husband were missionaries, and her husband was killed by a tribe that they were trying to reach for the Lord. And she later went in and did reach that tribe for the Lord, despite the fact that they had killed her husband and other missionaries. So it's so true. Of one thing I am perfectly sure, God's story never ends with ashes. And I can see that in my own life. I can see how He's worked to bring healing into my life. Does that mean I still don't have pain? No. Does that mean I don't sorrow at times? No. Because it isn't till heaven that all those tears are going to be wiped away, and that there will be no more sorrow nor crying, for all the former things have passed away. And God has given me a blessing. He gave me 2 more boys, and then He blessed me with another daughter. And I am so grateful for my daughter. And someday she will be able to raise her sister with me in the heavenly kingdom. And I'm looking forward to that time. One thing I've learned is that the relationship we have with our different children is different. Our relationship with our boys as a mother are different than our relationship with our girls, and fathers are the same way. And I have a special, unique relationship with my sons. I have been on many an adventure with my boys in the woods, hiking, climbing, rock scrambling, just crazy things. Things I would never choose to do at times because I'm so afraid of heights, but they've been there to help me, and we've had a great time together. And then there's a daughter relationship. It's a very special relationship because we're both women. We can think more alike. We can be a best friend. We can be best friends with our sons too, but it's different. And I'm thankful that God has made us all different, and we can have different kinds of special relationships with each one of our children. And I am so grateful for each one of my children. Through my experience of losing my daughter Bethany, God has given me strength. He's given me purpose. He's even given me gratitude. I am grateful I had the opportunity of having her. And if I hadn't lost her, I would not have gone on and had more children. I am so grateful for the 3 other children the Lord blessed me with. And He has a plan for each one of them. I don't know what you may be going through today. If you've lost a little one, maybe you've lost a father, a mother, a sibling, a spouse, whatever that pain is that you have been going through, God hears you and He knows you and He loves you. That pain and that ache will always be there. We may do some healing and growing through our experience, but there'll always be a little bit of pain there because a part of us is missing. But God cares, and I'm so grateful He cares. Right now, I would like to have a prayer that the Lord will bless each one of us. I know He's blessed me, and I'm so grateful for His blessing. And as I pray this prayer for myself, also pray it for yourself as well. Dear Father, thank you for the gift of motherhood and the precious moments you give us with our children. Though I don't understand why Bethany's life was so brief, I trust that your plans are good. You have carried me through the storm, and your peace has sustained me when I thought I couldn't go on. Lord, I give you my pain, my questions, my longing. Heal the parts of my heart that still ache and continue to guide me as I walk through this life. Thank you for the hope of heaven, where I will see Bethany again and experience the fullness of your joy. Help me to be a light to others who are grieving. Use my story to bring comfort and hope to those who feel lost and broken. You are the God who redeems our pain, and I praise you for your faithfulness. In Jesus' name, amen. I encourage you as my viewer that if you have a story to tell, I would love to hear your story. Maybe right now you're in the midst of pain and you need somebody to walk beside you. I am going to have a place in the show notes where you can go and actually fill out a form if you would like to connect with me. I can give you 1 free consultation. I do like to walk beside those who are going through pain and grief like I experienced and coach them through that experience. And if you have an interest in that, you can go to that link and fill out the form, and I will give you 1 free consultation, and then we can talk about if you would like to continue on with the coaching for a period of time. So that's there for you if you would like. And if you have gone through this experience and you have seen the hand of God and you're on the other side and you can look back and see God's hand, your testimony is appreciated, and you can share that in the comments because that's helpful to anyone who is going through pain and suffering. I also want to remind you that God is near to the brokenhearted, and He can provide peace and healing. He is the only one that can provide that peace and healing. If you know of somebody that's going through loss right now, I would encourage you to share this video with them. And I just pray that what I've shared today has been a blessing. I know that God can give peace through the storm. I've experienced it, and I'm so grateful for that. And if this has been a blessing to you, please like and subscribe to my channel so that every time I share something, you will get a notification. You can hit that little bell and get notified of my next video. And I just pray that today you will be blessed and that God's healing hand will be upon you. And until next time, keep healthy and God bless.